Oh, what's going on, guys? HK Titan here with a brand new video for you guys. But first things first, as always, hope you guys are having an amazing day. So in today's video, I have something new playing for you guys, and I'll be showing you guys an updated guide for how to make it to round 300. For this guide, we will be going for the Vengeful Sun God, both max level Paragons, and we will also be using Azili as our hero. But before we get too far into the video, I just want to take 30 seconds to talk to you guys about today's sponsor, Juju. What is Juju? Juju is an energy drink designed by people who care that is healthy, a great tasting energy drink designed with gamers in mind. Now, what makes Juju stand out from other energy drinks? Juju has natural caffeine for a clean energy boost. It's packed with the vitamins and minerals, and it also has ingredients that support eye health. One of the biggest things that stood out to me is the flavor. I really enjoyed the taste because it didn't have that artificial taste or the chalkiness that other energy drinks have, which is why I'm a massive fan of Juju, and I'm proud to have them as a channel sponsor. Also, the peeps over at Juju are so confident in their product that they give a 2-week money back guaranteed if you guys aren't satisfied with their product, and I definitely understand why. Out of all the flavors right now, I'm hooked on their blue raspberry flavor. It almost tastes like I'm drinking a blue raspberry slushie. So if you guys are a fan of slushies like I am, I think you guys will definitely enjoy the blue raspberry flavor. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys click the link below and use code H2KTitan in the checkout for 10% off. But alright guys, again, I just want to thank Juju for sponsoring my channel. Now let's go ahead and move on to the video. Alright guys, here we are on round 13, and now we're about to start going for our first farm. So if you guys missed it, the only thing that I did is I placed down my Ninja Monkey, upgraded to a 101, and then following that, I went ahead and grabbed our hero Azili, and then I upgraded our Ninja Monkey up to double shots as well. And now that we have our starting strategy placed down, I want to start going for a couple of farms. So with these farms, I want to place them in the bottom left, specifically on this map. And the reason why I want to place it in the bottom left on this map is because of spacing, and I want to go ahead and buff a couple of our farms with a village as well. So now the only thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be placing, I think we can fit like 5 farms around our, or in this little corner here, and it should work out pretty well. Right guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a couple of rounds. We don't really need to worry too much about lead balloons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get to the point where we have, I think like 5 or 6 farms placed down, and I'll go ahead and bring you guys back as soon as we're there. Alright guys, so here we are on round 28. As you guys can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 farms placed down. So now the next thing that I want to grab is I want to grab ourselves a village. So with this village, the only thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be placing it as close to the farms to where all 3 of these farms are being affected. We're going to go ahead and upgrade it to a bigger radius, so all of the farms that are around the village are going to be being effective. And then we're going to go ahead and grab Monkey Business and Monkey Commerce to give us a little bit of a cheaper price. Now the next thing that I want to do is I do want to upgrade our Ninja Monkey up to Balloon Jitsu. That way we don't need to worry about any balloons slipping through. And then the only thing that we're going to do is we're going to come through and upgrade all of these banana farms up to a tier 1. Following that, we're going to upgrade them to a tier 2. Now this is kind of the boring part because we're not really going to be doing too much. We're only going to be saving up enough money to go ahead and upgrade our farms, because the sooner we have our banana farms running, the sooner that we're going to be able to start placing down a bunch of towers. We do need to place down a bunch of dart monkeys and boomerang monkeys, that way we can go ahead and get those Paragons going as soon as possible. And we also need quite a few pops on those as well, so it would be nice to go ahead and get a bunch of those placed down as soon as we possibly can. So now the next thing that I want to do is I do want to grab a couple more farms. Now again guys, the starting part is kind of the boring part because there's not really too much to do other than just like farm up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to probably around 45 when I have all of these farms upgraded to banana plantations, and we have an alchemist that's going to be buffing our Ninja Monkey. Actually, we could probably place that right now. Alright, so there we go. We'll go ahead and upgrade the alchemist up to Berserker Brew with stronger acid and perishing potions. And then, like I said, the only thing that we're going to do from this point on is just upgrade a bunch of our farms. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back on round 50. As you guys can see, we have all of our farms placed down. Now again, it's not a big deal if these 3 aren't being affected by the village. On top of that, it's not a big deal if these 2 aren't being affected either. The only reason why I want to grab a couple more banana farms is so we can go ahead and start getting a bunch of banana research facilities as soon as we possibly could. Now, the next thing that we need to keep in mind is that round 63 is coming up really quick. So we need to make sure that we have a tower placed down that can go ahead and pretty much solo that round by itself. And the tower that I have in mind is going to be a dart monkey. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to end up buying a couple more banana research facilities right off the bat. And then once I get a bunch more banana research facilities placed down, then we'll go ahead and buy our dart monkey and upgrade it up to the crossbow master. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the point where I have at least 2 more research facilities, and I'll bring you guys back on 63. Alright guys, I'm going to bring you back on round 60 because I ended up changing my mind from getting the crossbow master, and I actually went with a Spirit of the Forest instead. The reason why I went with the Spirit of the Forest is because the Spirit of the Forest is actually going to make us a little bit more money with his jungle bounty ability. On top of that, he also does a pretty decent amount of damage with his thorns. The only bad part about the Spirit of the Forest is that he does need a MIB in order to pop leads. So he's definitely not going to be a end-all, be-all tower that you guys are going to want to go with. But he can definitely deal up until like round, I'll give him up until like round 80 by himself. But by that point, we're already going to have all the farms that we're going to need. So right now, it would be a good choice to go with the Monkey Town and all of that fun stuff. But I want to finish upgrading all these farms up to banana research facilities, which honestly shouldn't take us too long to actually get to that point. Since we have all these farms upgraded to banana research facilities, at that point, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade our monkey village up to a tier 5. Alright guys, here we are on round 68, and now we can officially afford to upgrade our monkey village up to Monkey-opolis. So once we do that, it's going to suck up a bunch of our banana farms. So now we need to go ahead and place all those farms back down, which I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the point where I have that done. So I should be back in just a second. Alright guys, here we are on round 77, and as you guys can see, I went ahead and replaced a bunch of my farms. The only thing that I swapped out is I didn't place that farm back down right next to our Spirit of the Forest, but instead I placed down a monkey village and upgraded to the MIB just to go ahead and increase our Monkey-opolis's area of effect, so it would go ahead and affect our Banana Central down here at the very bottom. Next thing that I want to do is I do want to come up here to the very top like so, and we're going to go ahead and place down the other 2 farms. Just because once we start getting to the later rounds, it's always nice to have a couple of extra farms that really don't need to rely on rounds in order to make some cash. Alright, so there's our Monkey Wall Street, and we also have our Monkeynomics. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to put a tech bot onto my Monkeynomics. And the reason why I like to do this is because I don't need to worry about pressing the Monkeynomics' ability, because I can definitely lose track of that, and that's an extra 10k every time that ability gets off of cooldown. Now, at this point, this is when we are going to place down a bunch of our dart monkeys. So we'll place down 2 crossbow masters, we'll place down the Ultra Jug, we'll also place down the Plasma Monkey Fan Club. On top of that, we're also going to place down a bunch of secondary dart monkeys, just to make sure that we have that little bit of added popping power and that added money spent on the tower itself. Alright guys, so this is what my setup is looking like on round 83. I have both of our crossbow masters here. I have our Plasma Monkey Fan Club. We also have our Ultra Jug. One thing that I did is I did place down a primary expertise, and that's just to go ahead and give us a little bit of cheaper prices on our crossbow masters. On top of that, I went ahead and grabbed a MIB to go ahead and give our dart monkeys a little bit of a buff here. I am going to upgrade it to Call to Arms as well, just to have a secondary form of being able to deal with these balloons with a little bit of a speed buff. Now, at this point, the only thing that I'm going to do is I'm probably going to place down probably around 30, or actually, I think 30 might be a bit much. I think I'm going to place around 16 of these Super Monkey Fan Clubs, and it should be more than enough to hit or to get to that price point in order to get our Apex Plasma Master at the highest level that we can possibly get it. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and do another little bit of a speedy bit, and I'll see you guys here in just a second. Alright guys, here we are on round 97, and as you guys can see, I have a bunch of dart monkeys placed up here at the start. Now you guys might be asking yourself why I placed all these dart monkeys at the very top. And the reason why I did that is because once I start going for the Vengeful Sun God, I don't want the Vengeful Sun God to suck up any of these dart monkeys, because that could end up being a little bit of a problem for us. Because I mean, the main reason why we have all these dart monkeys placed down is because we want to make sure that they get a bunch of pops, because the more pops that they have, the better it's going to be for us. So now the next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and place down our two secondary super monkeys. So we'll grab a Legend of the Night, and we'll also grab ourselves another super monkey, place it right here. Upgrade this super monkey all the way up to the anti-balloon gunner. Now that we have that, we can go ahead and start going for our temple. So with our temple, to make sure that we don't end up sucking up anything that we don't want to suck up, we'll go ahead and place it right here. We're going to go ahead and upgrade it to the Sun avatar. Now that we have it upgraded to the Sun avatar, what are we going to use for sacrifices? So the first sacrifice that I'm going to grab, I'm actually going to get rid of that Owl Alchemist, because we don't want the Owl Alchemist to buff our Super Monkey's range, because it could end up sucking up a couple of our banana farms. So now that we have the Moab Dom down, the next thing that I want to do is I want to grab the MAD, because I know the MAD probably isn't the most cost effective, but I really like to use it, especially since we're past round 107 now. It would be nice to have that little bit of added popping power. So as far as the magic sacrifices, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a Wizard Lord Phoenix. On top of that, I'm also going to grab an Archmage as well. And this is a little bit overkill, but at the same time, I don't want to end up messing this up. So we'll sell the Ninja Monkey here. Let's go ahead and upgrade, or let's go ahead and sacrifice for our Sun Temple. And there we go. Perfect. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're pretty much going to do the same exact thing. So let's go ahead and upgrade our Boomerang Monkey up to the Moab Dom. Let's also grab our MAD. Let's go ahead and lock our MAD over there. Let's go ahead and upgrade it to, there we go, perfect. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit overboard with the magic this time, and I'm just going to grab a Superstorm. It's a little bit cheaper than going for both Wizard Monkeys this time. And then for the support, the last thing that I want to grab is I do want to grab a XXL Trap. Now, if we were on hard mode, I would call it there, but I don't want to end up messing this up, so I'm also going to go for a Sentry Paragon, like so. And since we have 1.5 million, we really don't need to wait too long in order to get the True Sun God. So let's go ahead and upgrade to the True Sun God, and if we did everything correct, we should be getting the Vengeful Sun God, and there we go, perfect. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to grab a Epic Range to go ahead and increase our Vengeful Sun God's range, like so. And now we also want to grab a village to go ahead and make sure that our Vengeful Sun God can actually see Camel Balloons. So there we go. Let's go ahead and upgrade it all the way to the Homeland Defense with Jungle Drums. And then we're also going to grab a Permabrew as well. So let's go ahead and grab that Permabrew, like so. Let's upgrade it to a Stronger Acid and Perishing Potions as well. Now at this point, the next thing that I want to grab is I want to grab myself an Engineer. So with this Engineer, we're going to go ahead and upgrade it to an Ultra Boost. And then just as a little bit of added support, we're also going to grab a couple of more Engineers. But before we do that, we want to grab a Support Temple. But before we grab the Support Temple, we also want to tech bot up our Ultra Boost and link it up to our Vengeful Sun God, like so. Now that we have that linked up, let's go ahead and go for the Support Temple as well. So with this Support Temple, we want to make sure that it's not going to suck up our Vengeful Sun God. So I think if I place it here, this should end up making it so our Support Temple should reach our Vengeful Sun God. So let's just go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and upgrade to the Sun Avatar. And then we're also going to grab, actually, let's go ahead and give it a couple of other buffs as well. So with the support, I'm going to grab Super Mines. Again, we're not really too worried about money, so it really doesn't matter how much we spend. So there's the MAD. The other buff that I want to give it is I also want to give it the magic buff as well. So there we go, perfect. So let's go ahead and upgrade to the temple, and if we did everything correct, actually we have these two farms in the mix as well, so it's actually going to mess that up. But oh well, we have more than enough cash. All right, so there we go. That should be our temple sacrifice. Let's go ahead and upgrade to epic range, And there we go. So we have the support temple buff as well. Let's just also make sure that it can go ahead and see Camel Bloons as well. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead and give it the Call the Arms buff. And now that we have all this, let's go ahead and rebuy those 2 farms, just so we don't need to worry about cash. We can go ahead and place them up here like so. Alright, so there's Monkey Economics. Perfect. Let's go ahead and link this back up to our Monkey Economics so we can get that little bit of extra cash. And then let's also grab the other farm, the Monkey Wall Street. Now, at this point, our Vengeful Sun God is at the 10 times buff. I also want to grab another one of these little buffing robots, and we want to link it up to our Azili. That way our Azili is going to start activating the Moab Hex off cooldown. Now that we have all of this, the last thing that I want to do is I want to grab ourselves a couple of, or one more engineer, like so. Let's go ahead and grab another overclock, and with this overclock, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and link it up to our Vengeful Sun God, because if you guys didn't know, the all ultra boost and the all overclock are actually 2 different buffs, so you can actually all ultra boost and overclock your Vengeful Sun God at the same time. Now, the last 2 towers that I want to grab before we just sit back and relax until we get enough pops on our crossbow masters is we do want to grab ourselves a Bloon Master Alchemist, upgrade to larger potions and acidic mixture dip, and we also want to grab ourselves a Grand Saboteur. And with this Grand Saboteur, the next thing that we want to do is we want to grab ourselves another tech bot. I know this is a lot of tech bots, but it just makes things a lot easier, and you guys don't need to worry about like managing the cooldowns. So it's not something that you guys need to do, but it's just something that I like to do because I'm very, very lazy. Alright guys, so pretty much there's not much else that we need to do. I'm gonna go ahead and go up until round 150, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as I'm there. Alright guys, here we are at the end of round 149. I really haven't done too much off camera. The only thing I did is I went ahead and I started to all ultra boost our Sun Temple. I went ahead and ultra boosted our Bloon Master Alchemist. On top of that, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but I also went ahead and grabbed an Energizer as well. And the reason why I grabbed the Energizer is just to make sure that we have the lowest cooldowns that we can possibly have. On top of that, I also grabbed a overclock to throw on our Bloon Master Alchemist as well. That way he could go ahead and do a little bit more damage. Right guys, now at this point, the only thing that we're going to do is we are going to upgrade our first our Dart Monkeys up to the Apex Plasma Master, because it's about that time and we want to start going for the Glaive Dominus as well. So all of our Dart Monkeys have quite a few pops, so we should be able to max out our Dart Monkey probably around levels or degree 79 if I'm not mistaken. So here we go, and degree 66. That's actually not what we want. It might be because we didn't spend enough money. So what we can do is we can actually do a home reset really quick. We'll place down a couple more Dart Monkeys and we'll go a few more rounds, but before we actually come back for the Apex Plasma Master, because degree 66 isn't the max that we can get it in single player. So it would be nice to get it up to degree 79. So the only thing that I think it could be is that we don't have enough Dart Monkeys placed down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to round 170. I'll bring you guys back as soon as I'm there. Alright guys, here we are on round 170, and as you guys can see, I bought a bunch more Dart Monkeys just to make sure that we weren't having a problem with money. I think the only problem that we're having is with the pop count. I mean, with this Dart Monkey, we're sitting at, what, 1.2 million pops. Our Crossbow Master sitting at 1.9 million. Our Ultra Jugs, wait, I already did that one. Our Plasma Monkey Fan Club is only at 504,000 pops. Woof, boys. Alright, so hopefully between all of these Dart Monkeys, we have enough pops to get them up to degree levels. I think it's 79. So let's go ahead and cross our fingers, and hopefully this is enough. 78. I mean, it's not 79, but close enough. I mean, one degree really isn't going to be the make or break. So at this point, I also sold all of my farms because I want to try and reduce lag as much as I can. So one way to do that I found is just to go ahead and get rid of all of your farms. I do have 2 farms left over just in case we need that little bit of extra cash. But as you guys can see, we are sitting with 5.3 million. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy a bunch of boomerang monkeys. I'll bring you guys back in just a second. Alright guys, so I went ahead and placed down a few boomerang monkeys here. I'm just finishing up really quick. The only thing that I'm going to be doing as a little bit of a final portion of this is I am going to go ahead and grab a MIB as well as a call to arms to go ahead and make sure that we all of these boomerang monkeys at the top left can actually deal with every type of balloon. Right guys, now we can go ahead and press fast forward. At this point, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I am going to go ahead and ultra boost all of our boomerang monkeys right here. Just to go ahead and make sure that we can get them as many pops as we possibly can. Now, odds are I probably will grab a couple more boomers just to make sure that we have enough money, because that's the last thing that I want to struggle with. Right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and probably bring you guys back at like round 200 or 230, and I'll see you guys here in just a second. Alright guys, here we are at round 200, and no matter what Paragon degree our Glaive Dominus is going to get to, I am going to go ahead and do it on this round, because now that we're starting to get towards round 300, my game's starting to lag more and more. So to go ahead and cut down on a bit of the lag, I am going to go ahead and summon the Glaive Dominus right now. Now, I don't think we're going to get a massively good degree here, but I mean, if we could get above 50, then I would be happy. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to get, and it looks like we are going to get nice. So at least we got a Paragon degree 62. Obviously not the best, but again, it's just like the game is starting to lag just a little bit, so it would be nice to go ahead and cut down on some of that lag. So now at this point in time, there's nothing else that we really need to do. Oh man, the game is running so much smoother now that I went ahead and got rid of all of those boomerang monkeys. Alright, so now at this point in time, the next thing that I want to do is I am going to grab another support temple. On top of that, I'm also going to grab a couple of stun towers as well. I went ahead and I started to ultra boost this ice monkey here, and obviously we're going to go ahead and upgrade it to a super brittle with enhanced freeze and deep freeze. And the main reason why I want this ice monkey here is just so our towers could do a little bit more damage to the balloons. Now, the next thing that I want to do, like I was saying, is I do want to grab another support temple. We're going to be doing the same exact thing that I did with this one. We're going to be grabbing the planes and we're going to grab the military buff, the magic buff, and we're also going to go ahead and grab the support buff as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of those towers placed down. I'll bring you guys back as soon as I do. Alright guys, here we are on round 215. As you guys can see, I went ahead and placed down another support temple. Currently, what I'm doing is I am working on overclocking it. On top of that, I also placed down a couple more homeland defenses to go ahead and make sure that our towers are kicking out a little bit more popping power. Now, one thing that I did, I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, is I did go ahead and place my Bloon Master Alchemist up here at the top, just to go ahead and try to cut down on as much lag as I possibly could. Now, at this point, the only other tower that I'm probably going to place down is I'm probably going to go ahead and grab a balloon incineration as well, just to go ahead and remove some of that reinforcement from all of the towers. But as far as everything else is concerned, this is pretty much what our final setup is going to look like for round 300. So guys, I want you to go ahead and in the comments below, let me know which tower do you guys think is going to have the most pops, and how many pops do you guys think that tower is going to have. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a speedy bit, and I'll see you guys on round 300. Alright guys, and here we are on round 300, and as you guys can see, it's a little bit spicy. You can't really see what's going on. That's exactly why I didn't include too much footage from round like 220 all the way up until round 300, because we really weren't doing much. The only thing I ended up adding to our composition was, of course, a spike factory in the very bottom, just as a last-ditch effort, just in case any balloons did end up slipping through. And on top of that, I also grabbed a Moab Domination just to add that little bit of stall. Now, when you're going to round 300, the most important thing to remember is to go ahead and ultra boost all of your towers to go ahead and increase their popping power. But again, guys, for the most part, that's it. There's nothing else too crazy to it. I mean, right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 13 towers on the field, and you guys really don't need more than this. So now it is time for the moment of truth. How many pops and what tower ended up popping the most most balloons, all the way from round 1 all the way up until round 300. So the first towers that I'm going to start off with are going to be these support towers, aka our ice melt monkeys, our glue gunners, our sniper, our primary expertise. Now we'll go ahead and go on to a couple of towers that I think are going to surprise you guys just a little bit. So starting off with the super brittle. The super brittle only managed to get 831,000 pops, and this boy's been on the field for quite some time, all the way until like round 220, I believe. Now let's go ahead and move on to the second ice monkey. The second ice monkey popped off with 7.1 million pops. Now onto our glue gunner, sitting with a chill 667,000 pops. Not too bad, not too bad. Now with this boomer, we did end up buying this boomer late, but he still ended up getting a whopping 16 million pops. Absolutely crazy, dude. And this just goes to show like how strong the Moab domination actually is. Now let's check out the primary expertise. So the primary expertise is sitting at 7.7 million pops. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's also check out the engineer monkeys. It looks like the ultra boost, even though he only had a fraction of the map to actually hit the balloons, actually popped off with 1.2 million pops. Both of these boys are sub 100k, so not too bad. The sniper monkey ended up getting 3 million pops. Now that we went ahead and covered all of those, wait, let's go ahead and check the energizer. The energizer somehow managed to get 55,000 pops. I'm not exactly sure how he managed to get that many pops, but still a decent amount of pops. The super mines ended up popping off with 9.3 million pops. Not too bad. Now let's go ahead and move on to both of our support temples. So this support temple ended up getting a whopping 100 million pops, guys. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all, especially since it was a support temple, so nowhere near as strong as our Vengeful Sun God. Let's take a look at our first support temple. Now this one is a little bit further back, so I'm not expecting it to have as many pops as our support temple up front, but this support temple has 34 million pops. Not too bad. Again, it's not in the prime position for the support temple, which is why it doesn't have as many pops as our other support temple. Now let's go ahead and move on to the big boys. So the next tower that I want to take a look at is going to be the Mad. Now the Mad ended up popping off with 293 million pops. Not doing too bad at all. So it's definitely worth going for the Mad, especially if you're going for late game. I mean, if the Mad can pop off and get more pops than a support temple, he is definitely worth getting for sure. All right, now comes into the big towers. So we have the Balloon Master Alchemist, we have the Grand Saboteur, and we also have both of the Paragons, and on top of that we also have the Vengeful Sun God and the Zilly. So the first tower that we're going to take a look at is going to be, let's take a look at the Grand Saboteur. So the Grand Saboteur is sitting at 408 million pops. Not too bad, not too bad at all. I was actually expecting him to have a couple, actually a little bit more pops than what he actually had, but I mean, I'm not going to complain too much about that. Let's take a look at Zilly. Zilly is sitting at 363 million pops. Not too bad at all. Zilly, of course, is going to pop off in the late game, doing a butt ton of damage. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Paragons, because I'm going to let you guys know right now, the Balloon Master Alchemist has my money for having the most pops, followed by the Vengeful Sun God, and I don't think the Paragons are even going to remotely have close to the amount of pops that Zilly has, or the Grand Saboteur has. So we ended up getting the Dart Monkey Paragon first, so let's go ahead and take a look at him. He is sitting at a cool 109 million pops. Honestly, I thought he would perform a little bit better than that. I was hoping that he would actually have more pops than our Zilly, but nowhere close to it, nowhere close. Let's take a look at our Glaive Dominus. Our Glaive Dominus is popping off with a whopping 135 million pops. Again, nowhere close to how many pops our Zilly had. Now it's time on for the big boys. So let's go ahead and take a look at, let's do the Vengeful Sun God Blast. So our Balloon Master Alchemist sitting at That's one. That's two. 1.5 billion pops, guys. That is a butt ton of pops. Woof. I honestly was not expecting this many pops, but 1.5 billion? Man, our boy the Bloon Master Alchemist popped off hard, boys. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our Vengeful Sun God. Our Vengeful Sun God is sitting at 893 million pops. Again, the Bloon Master Alchemist almost had twice the amount of pops as our Vengeful Sun God. So guys, when it comes to going to hyper late game, there is no substitution. You guys need to have that Bloon Master Alchemist. And of course, do not forget to go ahead and ultra boost him. And I mean, it definitely helped out having that support tempo buff as well. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons Tower Defense 6 content. Also, I want to, one more time, thank today's sponsor, Juju. Make sure you guys go check them out. Click the link in the description below. Don't forget to use my code H2KTitan because it will save you 10%. So not only will you guys be getting a very good drink, but you guys will also be saving a little bit of money in the process. But anyways, guys, you know what time it is. I hope you guys have the most amazing day of your lives. And I will see you guys in the next one.